look at you. We're gonna see how beautiful you are. Woo! All right. Oh, New York City, you talk a lot. Let's have a look at you. Let's have a look at New York City.
Hey Vinyl Community, Steve here, FlipSideCT. Got a bunch of albums here, and from a record show. And I said last time that I was going to a Bridgeport record show, and it was fantastic. Turned out to be better than it started off to be. And I do have some footage, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Just quick things. Record Store Day. I started looking at a list and I just said, this is unbelievable. I have to literally get up and wait in line. I have to. I realized I was looking at the Record Store Day for UK. Doesn't look like I'll be going on any line with the US. I just don't get it. It's bullshit. I just don't understand this. But it is what it is. I talked about my daughter being in San Diego. Well, wound up I am going out there this Friday, the March 16th, 2018, for about 5-6 days. So it's really cool. Going to be with her alone, just her and I. Traveled to a few places. I'll bring my video, of course some stores. I got a few plotted out. I'm hoping that are good all over the area, and let's see how that flows. So excited with that. So the show was cool, and I started thinking in the beginning that it wasn't going to be good. I started seeing the same vendors I know. Not that that's a problem. It's just that last time I saw some I saw some vendors I never seen before, and I bought some really great things, but I didn't see them. But after some digging, things worked, it clicked, and I got some video here to show you. Just some real quick video just of the place. I started going and filming my crate flipping, and it was just bullshit records. So I just said, you know what, I'm just not going to show that. So here you go.
She knows the difference.
Semi-old-fashioned.
I talk about Under the Radar, and I talked about, younger folks learning and seeing some things, and just buying some really cool albums. So I was talking to a vendor friend, and we started bullshitting, and there was a girl, sort of, I guess like hippie-ish, like brownish, long hair. You could put a headband on her. She'd be in the 60s. I think she had like a little diamond in her nose. Very petite, cute girl, and very polite and nice, and saying she was into looking into the Stones. Never really had an album of theirs. First of all, she's there at the show buying vinyl. A huge plus. So she pulled out Exile on Main Street. The vendor, who I know, starts saying, "Oh, this album's great, blah, blah. You got to have this. This is wonderful." In my experience, I know Exile is not for the beginner. It's definitely 4 or 5 down the line, at least, to someone to get into. Brilliant, for the fans. But I said, you got to get Let It Bleed. So much easier to listen to, and the songs are just, desert island record. I'm going to do a review on that album, I decided one day. So, so I told her about it, and she says, "Oh, okay." And then I started looking through, and I said, "Oh, you ever hear Lou Reed, Rock and Roll Animal?" "No, I Lou Reed, Velvet Underground, blah, 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 Walking a While." So eventually she held that, and then she said to the guy, "I'm going to come back." And I said, "Oh, great." A long story short, towards the end, I saw her. I ran into her. She's holding Let It Bleed and Rock and Roll Animal. I just had a smile on my face. That made my day so heavy. It was so good to see that, and we talked, and I told her, put headphones on, listen to this, just appreciate this, because it's just magnificent. She was really happy, really excited. I told her about Vinyl Community. Hopefully she could comment if she ever does, but I may never know. Anyway, that was the one story. There was a couple others, jeez. But anyway, blues, Albert Collins. This is the complete Albert Collins. And this is his third album from 1970. And this is just a cool album. Texas guy, Texas blues. Needed to have that. Under the Radar, hippie DJ Kit. Thank you. You turned me on to something I learned, and some VC members. This is Sir Douglas Quintet. Because of the name, I would never have listened to this my younger years. Together After 5. The vendor had the Mendocino, a promo for $40. I didn't want to spend that. This was $15. He had a couple other ones. Grab this. Just a Tex-Mex, Cajun, San Francisco sound. Eclectic, different sound. From 66 to 81, all these albums from this band is just phenomenal. So thank you guys for turning me on, all of you. This album, several people show. It's nothing that it's new. I just haven't had the chance to get it in my collection. Been passing it by until two vendors were talking, and I know them, and they were saying, I just don't see this as much. It's getting lower and lower, scarcer to get, and it's the Slits cut. So this is what they'll call the post-punk album, 1979, the girl band. It's reggae punk. I know for the time it was different. I have a little hard time getting into this. I got it, honestly, for the collection of punk because I loved the period of time and felt I did have to put this into the collection. But one day I'll probably appreciate it. I'm going to give it more listens, but those who like it, cool for you. I'm glad you do. I talked about this fella from Amazon Prime, LAMF. The video that's out there now, but also Looking for Johnny is out there, a documentary on Johnny Thunders, and fabulous doc from 2016. There is an album out for it also from Record Store Day, which I did buy, one of the albums I bought. But this is, through watching the movie, I realized I don't have Hurt Me, his acoustic, his third solo album. Acoustic songs, this is the real deal. This is a French import and a must-have for me, especially as I saw it. Now, Johnny is chaos. Johnny was a train wreck, and to me, he is the epitome. He is the punk of punks. Never mind Sid Vicious. Sid couldn't hold a comb to his hair. Check him out growing up, young, and then, you know, just some younger pictures, growing his hair. He was wanted by baseball scouts at 13 years old by the Red Sox and Phillies, and he stopped playing baseball because he didn't want to cut his hair. But again, he is the epitome of it, and he is the real deal. Take him or leave him. His sound, you know, his vocals, he's off key. His guitars is sloppy. It's just raw. A lot of people get turned off by that. He really got angry at his audience, and, you know, took it out on them a lot. But check out the Swedish video of him performing in Sweden. It's really so sad how just high he was and so out of it.
Well, no one here gets out alive. Living here, it's suicide. Well, who needs girls? We don't need girls. Who needs girls? We don't need girls. Well, they're the stupidest thing in this world.
You know, that's rock and roll. I mean, he took it to the level that was unbelievable. Yeah, you know, if you can't delve into him and appreciate him, totally understandable. But he's raw rock and roll. The Groundhogs Split. This is a reissue. This is their 1971 album. Here you go. This is from Italy, import. Only paid $20 for this. So worth it. Trio rock and roll from Britain. Just hard rock and heavy psych band that you should give them a listen. This album, many of you know, I've had this in my hands years ago, and I put it down, went somewhere, came back, and it was just gone. So this is Electric Mud, Muddy Waters doing electric. The black vinyl, black cover is the original. The white one is the reissue. This one has the black and white photo of Muddy sporting his hair, and this one actually came with his little booklet of him getting a little beauty parlor hairdo. It's hilarious. It's just a great piece to have for the collection of for this blues. Where is that picture? I don't know. Anyway, a little quiff going. Electric Mud, a psych band playing behind him, doing his blues songs. He just sings. They tried it out, and it turned out to be a classic must-have. Just let's spend the night together on it. Cool. So when I went flipping through, there's one guy who I've seen before many times and bought. He's actually a vendor on the streets of Manhattan, and he's really he's raw, very intense dude. And I saw this album, and I said, this isn't the sound. And I looked it up. Yeah, wasn't familiar with Heads and Hearts, 1985. I believe this is their fourth album. It wasn't $30. It was half price at this time. The great part of it was it came with as a kit. So I got my picture, I got my kit information of the album, and also my lyric sheet. Unbelievable. The sound is great. I just think it's pure Adrian Borland. Anything from him is fantastic. Some of you who know the sound know what I'm talking about. This album is great if you're into it. Those of you who want to check out something cool, post-punk, somebody really just cool and and who didn't get the right break, check out the sound. I'm just excited with it. Static is the label. Steve Howe, solo album, and this is his second album. Love this inside cover, little tab here of all the instruments he played on what songs. You know, growing up in high school, it was like, oh, Page is better than Howe better than Page. We were all young, but what are you gonna say? This is a cool album that I got. I'm sure some of you had it. Edgar Froese, Tangerine Dream, the Berlin School. This album's fantastic. 1979, his solo work. I put this on so many times already, and while I was doing work, and it just blends right in for me. Not overbearing, not overpowering. Really a gem of an album. Very impressed with it. I was really surprised. I wanted Chet Baker, but I got this comp here with him on it, and several others are on here. This is Echoes of Anya, German pressing from 1982. Some of it is too fast, some of it is really good, but hey, I thought it was good. That's it, VC. Thanks so much for listening, watching, subbing, etc. Hey, just keep listening, buying the vinyl. I'll see you in about 2 weeks, hopefully. Bye-bye.
What would you do if you saw a young kid in your band trying to start shooting? Would you do anything about it?
Well, I'm not one, I can't preach to anyone because I'm not one to speak. I've always told everyone that's started doing it, that they don't know what they're in for, It's not, an easy life.
How would you say it has affected your mind and your music?
My mind?
Yeah.
I don't think it's done anything to my mind or my music. Because, I've played rock and roll before. I've started taking drugs and play rock and roll now.
Would you have been a better rock and roll musician if you hadn't started with drugs?
I don't know if I would have been better, but I would have been successful a long time ago.
Successful in what terms?
Having a lot of money.
But that's not why you play.
No.
But still
I mean, it helps.
Yeah. But you wanted to get out of the drugs.
I've never ever wanted really to stop.
What's going to happen to you?
I don't know what's going to happen to you.
But I don't take drugs.
So, you get hit by a car when you cross the street. I mean, if something's going to happen to you, it's going to happen. That's the way life goes. You can't predict the future.
So you don't have a will to get rid of the drugs for yourself?
I don't find them as a major problem for me.